As you already know, clubs are places where groups of people come together, participate in activities that are for leisure or educational purposes. For example, how to summon a demon lord. Anyway, so in middle school it was quite easy for me to pick a club and change to a different club, but the limit was 3 per person. So like I had mentioned before in an earlier video that I participated in art club, young farmers, and math science. Each of these clubs happened on different days during the week, so it was kind of cool. That was till I graduated. I had to pick only 2 clubs and I couldn't change it till the next term unless the club you're transferring to is flexible. So my first stop was comic club, which sounded pretty cool because I was into making comics back then. When I entered, everyone was sitting down watching the art teacher prepare a video whose name I shall protect and call Patrick, Mr. Patrick. But yeah, so of course he asked me to sit down as we watched the video. It was basically about this guy who was street painting this lady, and when he turned the painting over to her, it was a stick man, and everyone around the painter clapped for him. Then the video played on, and we were shown the same painter but with a different person, a guy and his girlfriend wanted to get themselves painted, and when they finished he did the same thing. This guy was furious after seeing that he drew his girlfriend as a stickman. So Mr. Patrick stops the video and explains how you shouldn't pretend to draw and how not to draw. And then finally, and after going through a 2-minute lecture about art, he was like, "Show me you got what it takes, so walk out that door." And I was like very scared because I thought I wasn't good enough, so I stood up and walked out the door. Aww, isn't that adorable? Since that didn't work out, I checked another club, only to find coding club, which seemed cool at first. Then I got pretty bored, and because they kept on going on about you should do it like this, they kept on bossing me around, and eventually I got tired and left. While wandering around, I ended up finding another club called Writers Club. So basically, the whole club was centered around just writing stories and then reading it and then doing competitions. Then after they entered me in, they told me to sit down and join them in the activity they were doing. Apparently it was this thing they did once a week where everyone had their own paper and write a story. Someone would give out this word or phrase. Let me give an example, like Jim is drunk or time is short, to be included in it. You have to write a story with that, and then for 1 minute. And once the minute ends, you have to pass it on to the next person. And by the time we had finished, I had this really cool story, and halfway through it was kind of weird, which I think it's too graphic, to be honest. It's too disgusting to mention. I had a weird friend beside me who was writing part of my story and ended up making it really disgusting. But his problem was I couldn't join the club because I would have to write a story every week, and that would mean I would have to ask permission from my parents, and that would have been a hassle. So I had to leave the club. So I left the club and became clubless, waltzing the corridors like the clubless freeloaders around the corners. Walking around the corridors of my school, I stumbled upon a club which happened to be robotics. People who were meant to bring their laptops to program robot parts. They would assemble themselves, but some people just came there to use their laptops for the school Wi-Fi and play games till school was over. And I realized that it made sense, so I joined. At the end of the day, as I was walking home, my friend stops me and tells me I should come to Modern UN. But I told him I already joined a club, and he said no, it was okay that tomorrow, so I can just come over after school, and I should tell my parents that they should pick me up late. So the next day after school, I decided to check it out, and well, to be honest, it was actually really cool. Okay, so Modern UN was basically this club where you get to pick your own country, and you are asked to debate with other countries on topics. Topics would be basically problems that you would have to solve, and then you have to write resolutions about those problems. But the really cool thing about it was because you could also give a lot of smack talk if you were really smart about it. So when I was in Modern UN, the country I picked was China. It already hit me before the lockdown had started, because everyone in my club during every single one of my debates disturbed me about coronavirus in every topic, and it was really annoying because I couldn't bring out any point. Okay, so that's the summary of my honesty. My two club choices were pretty good from my point of view, though I really thought learning how to swim in a dream was pretty cool. Anyway, goodbye and stay safe.